Hello everyone! In this video, we're going to learn how to configure DHCP snooping on our switch and make sure that DHCP clients can only receive IP addresses only from a trusted switch port. Here is the network topology for the demo. We have 3 DHCP servers. DHCP Server 1 will offer IP addresses from 10.11 to 10.19. DHCP Server 2 will offer IP addresses from 10.21 to 10.29. DHCP Server 3 will offer IP addresses from 10.31 to 10.39. Our DHCP clients should only receive IP addresses from DHCP Server 2 through the trusted port. Let's check each DHCP server one by one. On DHCP Server 1, the server IP is 10.10. On DHCP Server 2, the server IP is 10.20. On DHCP Server 3, the server IP is 10.30. On DHCP Server 1, excluded IP ranges 10.1 to 10.10 and 10.20 to 10.254. The pool name is Server 1. In Statistics page, the data counters have 1 pool, 2 excluded ranges. Binding page, still empty. DHCP Server 1 is ready. On DHCP Server 2, excluded IP ranges 10.1 to 10.20 and 10.30 to 10.254. The pool name is Server 2. In Statistics page, the data counters have 1 pool, 2 excluded ranges. Binding page, still empty. DHCP Server 2 is ready. On DHCP Server 3, excluded IP ranges 10.1 to 10.30 and 10.40 to 10.254. The pool name is Server 3. In Statistics page, the data counters have 1 pool, 2 excluded ranges. Binding page, still empty. DHCP Server 3 is ready. Now all 3 DHCP servers are properly configured. Next, let's move to DHCP Client 1 switch. Currently, its IP address is still the default 10.1. Based on the topology, only port 2 is trusted, and it connects directly to DHCP Server 2. This means, even though there are 3 DHCP servers in the network, the client should only receive an IP from the trusted port. On the DHCP Client 1 switch, go to DHCP, then choose DHCP Snooping. Click Snooping and enable Snooping mode. In the port mode configuration, set port 2 as trusted and all other ports as untrusted. Click Apply. Now, go to Basic Setting and click IP Setting. Enable DHCP v4, set the fallback, and click Apply. The DHCP Client 1 switch will now request an IP address. On DHCP Server 1, the binding page is still empty. On DHCP Server 3, the binding page is also empty. On DHCP Server 2, the binding page now shows DHCP Client 1 has been assigned 10.21. Let's log in to DHCP Client 1 with its new IP, 10.21. It works. Now let's configure DHCP Client 2 switch. Its IP is also still the default 10.1. Go to Basic Setting and click IP Setting. Enable DHCP v4. Input the fallback and click Apply. Now the client sends a DHCP request. On DHCP Server 1, the binding page is still empty. On DHCP Server 3, the binding page is still empty. On DHCP Server 2, the binding page shows DHCP Client 2 has been assigned 10.22. Let's log in to DHCP Client 2 using IP 10.22. It works, and DHCP Client 2 IP address is 10.22. DHCP Client 1 IP address is 10.21. Next, let's configure our PC as a DHCP client. On the PC, set the IP mode to obtain an IP address automatically. Click OK. Now check the status details. The PC has received the IP 10.23, which came from DHCP Server 2, 10.20. If we go back to DHCP Server 2, the binding page now shows 3 IP addresses assigned. 10.21 for DHCP Client 1, 10.22 for DHCP Client 2, 10.23 for the PC. Each binding entry includes details like the client ID and the MAC address. For example, IP 10.23 shows the MAC address of the PC. IP 10.21 shows the MAC address 05-24-2F, which is MAC address for DHCP Client 1. IP 10.22 shows the MAC address 00-00-04, which is MAC address for DHCP Client 2. This confirms that DHCP snooping worked correctly. Congratulations! You've successfully learned how to configure DHCP snooping so that clients only get their IP addresses from a trusted switch port. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.